Audio test. Audio test. Alright. Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. I thought I might touch on one topic because Digital Zombie brought it up, who's like this nice guy that was getting something out of my stream, and I really appreciate it. He just said, how do you stay motivated? And I'm not going to give general advice to people on this at all. I'll just say that my routine is designed for me to keep me motivated. And the principle is that when I go to my day job, there's certain things that I have to do there. It leaves like an itch for something else afterwards. So I'm an engineering manager. I manage developers, testers. Well, developers are kind of testers now, but anyways, I talk to different teams. I do a lot of communication. I plan things out. I don't do much writing code. I don't do much creating stuff directly. I manage the efforts of other people to do those things. So when I get off work, what I'm sick and tired of is thinking about planning. I'm sick and tired of directing the efforts of others, or at least if I have some joy in doing those things, I'm satisfied by the end of the day. What is still left over that I don't get to do at work is write code, is make something directly with my own efforts. And here's something that is missing: the ability to complete a task, kind of a small size task, or kind of a day size task myself, and see the results and say, done. That's satisfying. I am done with this task. What I instead get at work is sort of these long campaigns to complete different things, and at some point it gets released, and it's always like a big group effort, and I do feel satisfied, a lot of times very immensely satisfied by those things, but there's never the I got this little thing done moment. So when I come home, I've arranged everything to give me that thing that I'm missing, and I've avoided bringing the parts that I'm actually pretty good at into this evening time when I'm moonlighting. So I'm very almost Taoist about it. I don't want to think about the overall long plan of my project. It might help me if I did. I'd be pretty good at it. But I'm tired of that from doing it at my day job. Or at least I know that if I just scratch the itch that I haven't scratched at work, that's going to be motivation for me to continue. So alright, so that's it. That's how I do it. And everyone's approach is different. But maybe that gives some ideas to somebody else. Like, if you think about what do I not get at my day job that maybe in a moonlighting project would satisfy me, and then, like me, you'll be kind of happy when the session comes around or that time comes around where you can work on this other thing, because it'll scratch some itch for you. Okay, let's get to work. Let's do the work. But before we do the work, we'll do a demo. Always a demo. And this one, I'm really hoping it's got audio. I know the last two, there was a problem with the audio. That's why I did an audio check right at the beginning. Oh, blank black screen. I'll fix that. Don't worry. I just got to log in on my other machine. I've got two machines here, one for broadcasting, one for development. And I beam over via that AirPlay on a Mac. It's a Mac thing. It sends the video over to the broadcasting machine, And that way I kind of know that I'm not really affecting too much the experience that I'm seeing on the development machine or slowing myself down. So there's no like crunching for the video codec to put everything in a compressed format and saying, that's a very CPU intensive task. Okay, let's bring up Unity. Come on, Unity, where you at? The cheesiest song title I've seen in a long time. I'm the only thing I'll hold against you. Of course, it is a country song. Now, Unity is not coming up. Maybe that means I've got it in the debugger. That's what it means. Okay, so just hit play. Never mind that. Hit play. Okay, then I go back to Unity. Alright, here we go. Demo time. Demo time. With audio, I hope. I always do the demo first, and then I do the work. And I was looking at my analytics on the channel, and the average watch time is about 4 minutes. To me, that means that, first off, I'm happy anybody's watching. But to me, that means people are coming in to check out the latest status, and they're not necessarily staying to watch me mumble and bumble along on the work part of it, and that's fine with me. That's why I structure it this way. If you just want to see what's going on with the project, you can watch the first part of the stream and then drop off for the part which may not interest you, of me writing code or doing 3D modeling or composing music. Alright, this is the very first level of the game, and it's the second time I've made it. The first time it got corrupted, so I redid it. In this first screen, missing, there's like some story scripting, but those two hands there, that's God in this world. He comes out to greet you, and he wants you to stay in this room, but you don't want to stay in the room. You want to go explore against God's wishes. You come over to this room, which is sort of a low-rent equivalent of the Garden of Eden. Kind of analogous to Paradise. That's why I call this level Paradise. Because, you know, it's just a poor paradise. You see that right away. God thinks, maybe you'll spend all of your time in this room that He set aside for you. And you can be with God, and you can talk to God, and God is actually very boring. He's sort of like somebody you meet at a party that is just focused on one subject and will go on and on about it. Like it could be Bitcoin, but for him he does like a whole Begat series. If you've ever read the Bible, there's like these long sections where it says, and Jehoshaphat begat Meshahazzahat, and Meshahazzahat begat Samwise, and Samwise begat Paul, and Paul begat, and they just go on page after page, and he just starts reciting those to you. The player, the character M, and he says, whatever you do, don't go east, don't go in the east room, that's not for you. So of course you got to go there. And what's over here? The apple of infinite speed. God says, don't take that. You won't be able to handle it. You won't like it. It'll make you powerful. Too powerful. But you take it anyways. It gives you the ability to fling. Flinging is hold down the shift key, point in the direction you want to go, and you're instantly there. Flinging's fun. It's fun. You should try it. I hope you will sometime. Okay, so then you've gone against God's wishes. You've gotten the flinging capability by consuming the apple of infinite speed. Then you come back up this way, and God's waiting for you. He's very disappointed. Oh, you went against His will. and then you come through here, God's chastising you, and the level's designed such that you can't really fling here. The fling would go off the edge of the world, so you're prevented from flinging, and it's that way on purpose to slow you down a little bit so that God has a chance to browbeat you. So you come through here, you see the original paradise room far down below. Okay, then you continue this way. This is what I was working on last night, just kind of making this sort of different area with some different things to look at. And you come all the way down over here, and there's a guy down there. His name is Billy, and God says that you have to go down there and effectively fight Billy. And M doesn't want to do it. She's not really interested in fighting anybody, but God's so persistent, and He says you go down there, and then you go down there, and He just He's relentless. He just says, go push Billy, and Billy's going, no, wait, I don't want that. Okay, and then you push him, and he goes flying, which I'll do in a second, but there's nothing to catch him. So he's just gonna kind of die. He'll fall off the side. He went off over the edge over here. I won't explain everything that happens here. It'd be better to show it instead of tell it later. But then there's a level exit. So this whole area over here isn't very well built up yet. So I do need to do some work there. But also I'm not done with this section off to the west of me that I just walked through. So that's where I'm going to continue on this session, is doing some more level modeling. There's Billy over here. So he's got AI that makes him run away from you. After you push what's called a bystander, which is the sort of the class that Billy comes from, the bystander will run away from you. And there's ways you can steer them a little bit, depending on if you're sort of closer to them in the horizontal versus the vertical direction, west-east versus north-south. He'll favor west-east versus north-south movement. It's fun to push them around. I'm enjoying it anyways. Not just because of the sort of joy of being a little bit mean to a character in a game, but also because there's a sort of predictability to the control of this character. And you can, with a little bit of practice, figure out how to guide them to where you want them to be. Another day I figured out, I can get him to go quite a ways. I can get him to go up and down stairs, and it's almost like herding cattle. I know, that's not necessarily an experience you have, but if you ever herded cattle, you just kind of get behind them and make noises and they run away from you, and you end up getting more skillful at controlling where they go to. So here I'm just going to give him a push. Ooh, he goes flying. And I can go down here. Where'd you go, Billy? I know you're running from me. I'm going to find you. There you are, stuck in the corner. I'm going to send you up the stairs. You think it's your idea, but it's actually my idea. And this is kind of the limit to where I can direct him to go. But that's okay. That's not really part of this level that he would be able to be moved that far anyways. He's supposed to stay down in the arena. When the level's fully crafted, that's where he'll be relegated to. Alright, so that's the deal with this level. I'm gonna, while I can still, there he is way down there. That's another thing I like, is just seeing these creatures far away and watching them have their movements when they're so far away. I want to scout this out a little bit more for problems. It's easier to see it when I'm playing. Okay, there's a spot here where I can get down into. I don't want that to be allowed, so I'll have to put something there. I think, did I cover all the gaps for this? Just testing this to make sure I can't hop up onto any of these things or fall down. Over here I'm going to put some rails. This all looks pretty good. I do want the pillars to extend all the way down to the bottom so they don't look like they're floating in the air. So that's another thing I'll fix. More rails around this, and then it'll be onto the arena. Okay, I got a handle on it. Okay. This is probably going to be a pretty short session. Again, work is just kicking my ass right now. Okay. The first thing I said was I don't want the player to be able to go off over here. I could just put a rail there. That's probably a decent way to do it. I do like this little alcove over here, so I'll just rail it off. Yeah, I think I'll just rail this all the way along. Okay, so rail. Just thinking of one other thing I might want to do, and this might be the time to do it before I add a whole ton of these rails. So let me test the idea. I'll explain the idea before I start doing it. So I know that when the scene loads, the Pro Builder objects in it, they have a little script that runs right at the beginning, and that script doesn't take much time at all. But when I get to some of these objects that I repeat many times, each one of those instances, it runs its Pro Builder script right at the beginning, and it adds up, and what it results in is blocked execution during the load async of the scene that goes for the level. So when I load my levels, I want there to be like kind of a loading animation that plays, and then you go on to the next level. And I've got that. But if there are a bunch of scripts that run right when the scene loads, it'll block execution on the main thread, which is doing the loading animation, until all of those scripts run. I see it as a shortcoming of Unity, by the way. I think they could find ways to have all that run asynchronously. Not asynchronously, but time sliced in such a way where it doesn't block the main thread execution for very long. So I found I can alleviate this by stripping the Pro Builder objects. You only want to strip the Pro Builder objects on a mesh that you don't intend to edit. So some of these meshes are pretty stable, and I don't predict that I'm going to want to edit them. Particularly ones that I don't use, like extrusion and stuff on to move them around. And particularly ones where I have to repeat a whole bunch of game objects. So those ones are good candidates to create like a Pro Builder stripped version of. But at the same time, I'm not willing to say I'll never go in and edit those again. So what I think I'll do is start a new convention, or I create a folder called working. Maybe that's not the thing. How about source? Put a little hyphen beginning because I think this is all alphabetized. Okay, so if I do that, I take these prefabs and just kind of make a copy of them all inside of source. Let me see, can I just go, okay, no. Yeah, I'll stick them here to start with. Okay. Then let's duplicate this. Man. If I duplicate it, what happens? Okay, so let me take the rest of these and duplicate them, see how that works. Cool. And move the copies down here. Did I get them all? Let me double check. So there should be no, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I didn't get them all. What am I missing? Okay. EDM1, okay, EDN, EDS, EDN, EDS, NDE, NDW, oh man, there's a lot there. Oh, okay, there's some over here that I moved that shouldn't have been moved, that's all. So let's move, not that. Wait a minute. Now I'm doubting myself. Okay, so these ones didn't originally have... God, which one? So I'm got like my stream on my other monitor, and I've got it paused like 10 seconds ago, so I can compare these two directories more easily. Okay, so EDN, EDS, N, NDE, NDW, NE, NSDW, NW, S, SD, SDW, SE, SW, W. Okay, so I'm missing WDN and WDS. No problem. Duplicate those. Okay, I'll move those over here. Okay. So now there's going to be 17 here, and there's going to be 17 here, and that's how it is. Okay, cool. Now we're back in business. So next thing I'm going to do is take off the number 2 off the end, because that'll just confuse me. I've been associating seeing 2 on the end of an object with an unwanted copy. So me taking these off will, that little 2 on the end will mean I won't stop and look at these objects for a long time later. Originally, I had a number on the end of it because I thought I was going to make variations on these. Like I'd have rail south 1 and rail south 2, but I just don't need them. I don't need variations on them. Other things I will, but not them. Okay, so then if I take these objects and select them, I'm curious if I will be able to remove the Pro Builder. Okay, it seems like I got to put them in the scene first, and then I can select them and remove them. So let me just put them all in an arbitrary place. It's not too complicated. And I wonder if I can just stick a whole bunch at one time. I've never done that before. I have no idea if that actually worked. Kind of seems like it didn't put them all there. Okay, I guess there's no shortcuts. Oh, wait a minute, what if I just do this? So now I'm in a scene of sorts. So if I just take this, yes. Okay. That's the way to do it. Okay, I like that much better. So now I have no ability to edit the mesh of these, but it's okay because I've got a copy of them in source that still retains the Pro Builder. The Pro Builder scripts that allow mesh editing. Okay, Pro Builder actions. No, don't do that. Don't ever do that. I'm not sure why it won't let me remove these in the same way I just managed to do previously. No, I don't. I just don't want to do that. Wait, is this already been removed? Oh, I'm still on Rail East. Okay, that's why, because I already removed the scripts there, so I just got to move on to the next place. Okay, that's actually kind of nice that it was able to detect that there was nothing to do, and it prevented me from accidentally picking an option that wouldn't do anything, and maybe, yeah, it was good feedback. Cool. EDS. Yeah. NDW. NE and SDW. Kind of proud of these. I modeled all these with my rudimentary modeling skills. I'm not anywhere at professional competence with this whole modeling thing, but I got a little bit of a knack. I'm not bad. Steve, where's that? Okay. W, almost there. And then I will double check my work, but I think I got them. Okay. Let me just make sure that I understand how to check that they're gone. So this is one where it's been removed. Okay. Here's one where it's still present. Okay, it'll say Pro Builder Mesh Filter or something that says Pro Builder on it. So that's the thing to look for. Okay, so let me go through each of these and double check. That kind of looks like it's still there. Okay. What the hell? Is it like it unsaved? Is that what happened? Hold on, let me do the very last one. Well, that one's there. That one's fine. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not selecting these parts. Okay. It's still there. And I can still strip it. I don't get it, man. What's this thing down here? No? Okay. So, okay, come back up here. Let's go one at a time. So here I see it. That it's stripped. But if I come over here, still, okay, that one there, okay, this one returning to, yeah, okay, so maybe I gotta strip it and then I got to go up to the scene. Okay, maybe that did something. Let me check. It doesn't stay. Huh. I'm going to turn off autosave. Let me explicitly save this time. So I'm going to go Tools. Okay. I'm going to save. I'm going to save right now. Okay. Switch. Okay, that's okay. Here's the one I should have fixed. Okay, so I learned something. I think it's as simple as this. The changes that were made by Pro Builder within the prefab did not mark this scene as dirty. So when I switched to a different prefab, it didn't autosave. But if I explicitly save, then it'll pick them up. I feel like sending a message off to the Pro Builder people, but man, I got shit to do. They obviously have a little bug there, and I even know how they could fix it, but yeah, I got shit to do. They'll have to find that on their own. They might already have that bug open They might already have it fixed in the latest version of Pro Builder. Okay, WDS, good. So I gotta go through these again. Sorry if I'm boring anybody. I'm boring myself. I'm mainly apologizing to myself because I want to get back to modeling, but trying to do things the right way. Now I've got a different problem. So how did I get the save button to... Okay, I think... So the save button is disabled because according to Unity, nothing has changed. Social norm, hello! We need social norms. If we don't have social norms, society just goes to rot. Is it the Great Belza? Oh, good to see you, man. How are things going? I don't want to like extreme details about your life and all of that. It's like I could say things about work and I just yeah, I'm a married man. But yeah, I don't know like what happened with work and everything with you. I hope things are going well. I'm taking some care not to just like talk about your life or something, you know, and yeah. Okay, good. Cool. They sending you out on some new projects. Cool. Yeah. Back-end stuff. Services, GraphQL, stuff like that. Yeah. There was some point where I just picked web and front-end work, and I just said I'll just specialize in this. But it felt a little bit arbitrary when I did it, so I can understand, wanting to try some different things every now and then. Yeah, I'm just like fiddling around with these objects. I'm trying to get them to strip the Pro Builder scripts out of them. Let me see. I strip that, and then like it won't let me save the change because it's a change that's made by some third-party script. Unity doesn't detect it, so I'm wondering if I can just make some kind of like token change to get this save button to highlight. Maybe if I go 1 and then I go 0, then I can save it. I'm really hacking this to get through it. Okay, so I think that allowed me to save. Let me come back to it. Man, that was quite a workaround. Okay, here I go. Do this again. Now that I figured out the method to do it. You should get that one job you had a while back where they just paid you for a year to do nothing at all. Just hanging out, waiting for your security clearance. That's better than unemployment checks, because you actually have a job coming on the other end. Alright, so then we go 0, and then we go 1. And then we can save. And save. Okay, I got a methodology. You know, we had one last, like, kind of going away party with Headstormers. It was actually pretty nice. It was pretty sweet. Bittersweet. But yeah, we had a good time at that. I mean, it was all like Zoom party stuff. It's like about as much fun you can have with Zoom, I think. Like, you can never quite get to that 100% this is a party feeling. Not that I'm such a great party or anything, but I know what a real party feels like, and I'm just not getting there with Zoom yet. What have you been doing for fun with, like, lockdown and all that type of thing? You're playing a lot of video games, I bet. Animal Crossing, there you go. You know, that's one that a lot of people kind of beeline for or introduce themselves to. I think it just fit people's mood. I've never played it. I should probably try it at some point. What happens on Discord when there's just like way too many people there to all talk at once? Huh. Oh yeah, makes sense. I've got a Discord channel, but I never actually used it. Let's see, did I get that right? Yeah. SDW. Okay, let's save that. Okay, so SE, SW. Okay, almost there. Yeah, I miss the Headstormers. I really do. I mean, I miss the people that I got to know that were in that group, I should say. It's not that they're like Headstormers are so amazingly cool. It's just that within that group, there were a bunch of people that were really cool. And I do miss them. Yourself included, sir. So, I mean this, but like also, going to the park that's about a block away from me and playing basketball by myself. One time this little kid came up to me and wanted to shoot with me, and then I let him, and I took the basketball home and sprayed it down with disinfectant. It's a weird scene. And I didn't want to break his heart. This kid, he's like looking at me like, can I shoot the basketball? And then I go, oh yeah, here you go. And then he like did that. Missed like 20 times in a row. And finally he made the shot and then said, okay, that's great. Went home, cleaned the basketball, cleaned my hands. It's weird though, you get kind of starved for physical interaction, and like you talk to a stranger in public that you wouldn't normally talk to. There's stuff like that. I'll talk to my neighbors, from like 6 to 10 feet away. I had some limited get-togethers with friends, where we all feel pretty good about like their habits and their contacts, and we can trust each other a little bit, so we hang out for a little bit. Then in July I've got a vacation. My wife and I, my new wife, it's fun to say wife. Actually, I like doing that. I used to have to say girlfriend, and I didn't like how trivial it sounded to say my girlfriend. Then I would say partner. That felt weird and cumbersome. Anyways, my wife and I were going to go on a trip to like an Airbnb, a house with a pool and a hot tub, and stay there for a bit. I know that bit. That John Mulaney bit. I think I might even be in the back of my head stealing from his bit a little bit. Yeah, John Mulaney is like, you sound like a serious contender if you say my wife. Keep your hands off my wife. Sounds like you mean business. Yeah, John Mulaney is the shit. I love me some Mulaney. I didn't like him when I first watched him, but now I'm really into him. Like, I think I'm going to. I was resistant to it at first because it just felt like they were, it felt like they were taking, it felt like one of those SNL sketches that it goes on too long. But now it's like I watched all the Mulaney, all the stand-up specials. I've seen all the Kroll show stuff. I love Nick Kroll. So just to make sure I'm completely consuming everything, I'll probably will watch that. The other one I'll get around to watching is he's got that musical special with for kids. I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if it's good or not. Let's see. So let's save. Okay. Rail W. Like, what comedians do you like? Ben Schwartz. Is it a guy from Parks and Rec? Middle Edition Schwartz. Okay, that one I stayed away from because I like both those guys, but improv kind of leaves me with this feeling like I'm impressed by the person in the same way I'd be impressed by somebody that can run really fast, but I'm not laughing. And it gives me this kind of like sort of irritated feeling like something's required of me that I'm not willing to give, which is laughter. But it might be good. Every once in a while I get really surprised by some improv type stuff. Okay, I very well might try it, particularly because I mean there's not going to be a lot of new comedy stuff coming out for a while. I mean, not like a proper stand-up with like a big audience. You know, a lot of specials have just been postponed, and um, yeah, like the worst kind of comedy to me is I call it like NPR comedy, which just feels kind of like people are being clever but not funny. Like I feel like just doing a little golf clap for him, you know, and then smiling slightly. Um, but I'm sure. In fact, it's never like a lack of respect. I have respect for cleverness and wittiness. Uh, and improvisational comedy is impressive to me. It's just a lot of times it leaves me cold. The stuff I've liked a lot has been sort of like those unscripted comedy shows like Reno 911, or like the semi-scripted stuff like Curb Your Enthusiasm, where there is like a plot and they figured out like the things they want to happen, but like the people just kind of talk through their lines, so it sounds really good and it sounds maybe more funny than if they just stuck exactly to a line. um, yeah um, okay. WD and WDS. Look at this one. And then I'll get to do some rails. No, don't do that. So this one I finished already. Okay. Community, yeah. That feels like another one I should retry, because so many people involved with that I like. Dan Harmon has done tons of great stuff. Um, I think I might have given up on it a little too quick. Yeah. The sitcom I liked recently was AP Bio. Oh, Dan Harmon? Yeah. Um, AP Bio, I felt was best when they let the the main character, I forget his name, let him be an asshole. Just stop trying to do the character development thing where he's learns to be a decent human being at the end of the episode. Just let him be an asshole. It's so much funner, and that's kind of what I'm always hoping for, because It's Always Sunny, they're just terrible people. There's really not hardly any attempt to make you like them. They're just terrible people, and it's funny, and it's a relief not to have to kind of apply morality to what they're doing. Always Sunny that might be my favorite sitcom ever. It might always be my favorite sitcom. I've rewatched it so many times. Alright, I'm going to double check some of these real quick. Alright. Now let's get back and let's lay some rail. Get some rail down. Delete those. So it's like dun 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 boom boom boom. The gang goes through the TSA. Nice. Oh, this is not good. So rail SW is nothing? Weird. What happened? Fiasco. So this is just missing like the whole mesh. So is this. So is this. Okay. This does not work with prefabs. The stripping thing does not work with prefabs. I'm gonna leave that task for a different time. These seem to be all garbage. Get rid of those. I should have tested them before I just went and spent all that time trying to fiddle them into the state I wanted them. Alright. Alright. I've heard the Sunny music, not like their main theme, but like all their little bumps that they've got at the beginning of the episode. There's like maybe 4 or 5 variations of the bump, but I've heard them in like other movies and shows, because they're probably all from some clearinghouse for royalty-free licensed music or something like that. But it amuses me whenever I hear them in something else, because I know that some producer somewhere was just being cheap. They didn't want to commission somebody and buy the exclusive rights. That seems to be missing the shader. I don't know. Is that missing the shader? Let me see. Go over here. Yeah. Missing the shader. Oh, I see why. I see why. I didn't finish applying the material. Okay. There we go. I've decided that my goal for this session is just to get these rails up. And after that, I'll have to make some dinner. Wait, you got like some kind of picture-in-picture thing, or you got more than one screen going, or? Oh, Better Call Saul is my jam. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. Like, if you told me 10 years ago that the default way of me watching stuff in the evening was going to be, you'll have a phone that you fiddle with, you'll have a tablet which has got something else on it, and you'll have the TV going all at the same time, I would have said, that's stupid. That's stupid. Why would I do that? I'll just, whatever I want to pay attention to, I'll just deal with that. And then, like, the whole thing is repeated 5 feet away from me with my wife. Between the two of us, we'll have, 4 to 6 screens going on one time. And then attention spans are so bad now. It's like, it almost seems like boring to just fully give all your attention to like a movie. It's like, it's not enough going on. I gotta go play a game on my phone or something. It's crazy. Our brains changed. Yeah. Old movie trailers, they'll do like, they think they've got you hooked with like the big voice. They'll set up some kind of premise, like, I don't want to do the in a world thing, but it'll be they'll say something that sounds like they expect you to be enthralled. Like, he thought it would be easy. And then, of course, it wasn't easy. Like, whatever the plot is going to... But they'll, like, wait forever before they go on to the next thing. And it's just ridiculous. Alright, I just about got the rails done. Then I'm going to do a quick playthrough. And then I gotta go make dinner. Because it's like late in the day on me all of a sudden. I suppose I could be a little more efficient with this. Let me just grab a whole bunch of them. That's what I should have been doing. Alright, this is much faster. Rail West, where are you? Oh, there you go. Okay. I made this little balcony out here just for people to stroll out and see a giant drop off underneath. No purpose to it other than just to give you something to look at. So I've actually been writing code at work, and I don't like it. I forgot. It's freaking hard to write script creator code. Man, it's tough. So reminding myself of like how hard it is actually a good thing. just to be able to relate to the other people on that project. You know what it is though? It's like, okay, so Norman, you remember, maybe you went, I think you went to college, maybe you didn't. I went for a little bit, but there was sort of like the type of programming you would do in college was sort of, it was like pure programming. You would just be writing some function that takes in some inputs and gives some outputs. Maybe you do more advanced stuff. It's like you make a compiler or something like that, you know. But like then you go and you work at a job, and it's like maybe 10% of the job is that sort of pure programming type stuff. The rest is writing unit tests, reading requirements, fixing broken build pipelines, following team policies, responding to review feedback. It's honestly, it's like 10% of your time is doing the thing which is actually kind of fun, which is just writing code. And I keep running into people that sort of, they just want to write code and they're actually really good at it. And there's not actually any jobs left where all you do is write code. There's got to be some, but it's like for the most part, they're gone. Like there was probably a lot more in the past, you know. I don't know, maybe there still are some places where like maybe you're writing like a device driver or something like that, you know. Or open source projects. Like if you just don't want to get a paycheck and you want to work on, you know, one of like sort of the basic building blocks that all the other developers use to make their software, then you could do that. I thought I saw some Z fighting. I don't like Z fighting. It would mean that I've got an extra duplicate in the same place. I guess not. Alright, I'll make the rails go the other way. Alright, coming down the home stretch. Whoa. Okay, so what's this one? Rail north, down, east. Rail north, down east. Okay, here we go. This one goes here. Is that right? It doesn't look right. There we go. Got the snap. Okay, rail south, down, east. South, down, east. There we go. Oh. Alright, that's it for now. I'm going to hit play, try it out. I should have saved it. I really should have. I should get that back into my habits. If it crashes in the middle of this, I'll have lost an hour and 23 minutes of work. But I don't think it'll crash. Rails, I got rails. They're keeping me safe. Now go look at the my viewpoint. There it is. Oh. Okay. I do feel like the... should I have the rail turned here? No. Nah, let it be. Alright. Well, Norman, I'm going to call this the end of this session. Thanks for hanging out. It was good talking to you. Have a good night out there in Dallas. Or actually, you might not be in Dallas proper. Texas, anyways. Okay. Okay, good. I won't mess with Texas. I promise. Alright, I'll see you. Stop in the stream.